close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Holding in the wicket a touch. The slower balls are not easy. You have to adjust to the pace of the wicket, adjust maybe our target. 165, 170 might be a decent score.
The other thing it will show is it's going to be hard to start. So the longer these two bat, they'll find it easier. The last thing you want is always to ask a new batsman to come out and try and get going.
Still ticking over that score though. Two players who've played a lot of domestic cricket together, running well. That's 50 up for New Zealand.
I would say this is the maturity of Colin Munro, having played around the world now, and he's starting to understand what his role is.
And that one's gone hard and high and a long, long way. Huge from Phillips, and that'll be a 50 partnership as well. That might release the shackles a little bit.
Well, it helps to play catch up when you know you've got power, and that is one of the things that Phillips has. That's into the wind, and it just sounded so good from the moment it hit the bat. When you have power, you can stay relaxed.
Good finish to the over from Phillips. 8 gone now, 57 for 1.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Get an Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Black Caps 57 for 1 after 8 overs after being sent into bat by the West Indies. The first T20 at Saxton Oval. Martin Guptill went early. Windies bowlers, the spinners in particular, have done a good job just pegging New Zealand back, but some signs perhaps. Glenn Phillips, big 6 in the last over. Wood picks out the fielder though.
Might be one of those days, Simon, where the medium fast cutters are more effective than, especially the regulation off spin, because you've got to judge the pace through the air and also the holding nature of it. The question is, do the Windies have enough options available to do that?
Rodman Powell available to bowl some seam up if required. A few cutters as well. Get through Kesrick Williams, Jerome Taylor, Brathwaite, Rodman Powell with a couple maybe. Badri's already been excellent. I think if New Zealand or if the West Indies were able to break through this partnership, new batsman, Tom Bruce, Ross Taylor, get the spinner back in for an over, just to race through another one quickly while the new man's on strike.
Excellent point. Get him in, get through an over while a batsman's starting, and then you can take him off. The good thing is Badri's got through 3.
Sheldon Cottrell close to us. Shimon Hetmeyer, Rad Emirate, is in the lineup as well. Little issue with the broken bat for Colin Munro straight away. He's a guy in the West Indies lineup, Rad Emirate, who would love these conditions. Got a raft of slower deliveries.
Got up, new bat, no bother, it's a good chase, but it's just too quick out there at the moment.
Ahmed nearly got there. Shows how dangerous, and again that was straight at Munro. She was able to get it around the corner. Needed boundary. 8.6 runs and over now for the last 5 overs between these two, so they're starting to create that momentum. The Windies need a wicket.
That's huge. Massive again. Munro this time. Put down in the crowd. Massive for Munro. He goes to 43.
Every opportunity there. There's a lot of orange shirts around in that area. Remembering $50,000 up for grabs for a clean one-handed catch throughout the white ball. Summer. Look at them, 5, 6 of them. What are you doing? You went for 2 and then you just, oh, you've got to line it up better than that.
And that's gone again. Another chance. It's flat and hard, and there's a big diving effort. Munro goes, bang, bang. Massive from the Black Cats opener. He goes through to 49, 76 for 1.
19 off the over.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Get an Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Well, Colin Munro showing some real concern for the person that was hit. Just have a look here for the yellow hat. There, right in the face. Luckily, it was just a couple of ricochets. It wasn't full on, but it hit the lady's shoulder and then into the young, I won't say boy or girl, but the young kid's eye, face area.
Well, Munro looked straight out there, didn't he? Realised quite early.
Change of bat for Munro and change of fortune. The second one, there's plenty of time. That is a problem when we've got catches in the crowd, because people dive and you can't protect people and it can ricochet. I hope everything's okay.
Nurse continuing for the West Indies.
Now this partnership's really flying. Close to 10 runs and over. Munro now on 49. He just showed that patience early on, that maturity.
Right, of catch it, it'll bounce. And they'll go through for a single, and that'll be a 54 Munro off 31 balls. 6 fours, 2 sixes. And he's accelerated the run rate very quickly in the last over or two, Colin Munro.
Mature innings by Colin Munro. He was able to weather the storm. He took a lot of pressure off Phillips early on after losing Martin Guptill. Those numbers stack up. He is becoming a vital cog of this New Zealand side in the one-day game and also this version. And it helps with consistency of role. I can actually tell you I hopped into the elevator with Colin Munro, and when the doors opening, he was playing shots as the doors open.
Well, he's clearly got issues.
The difference with those 2 sixes, he had a short one, but it seems to be that back of a length, not too full, back of a length cut is the heart of the time. The one that went over long on was 83, 84 metres. It was very full, so it was obviously missed from a Yorker point of view.
Good response from Nurse so far. 5 singles from the over to date. Once again, that one picks out the fielder, and dot ball to finish. 81 for 1, 10 overs gone. So this is the 50 for Colin Munro. He watched Martin Guptill go early, but a very measured, mature innings with a couple of big hits in there as well. Just ticking over the strike initially with Glenn Phillips and then getting into his work. 6 4s and 2 big 6s, one after the other. That one as well. And then just the single to bring up an excellent 50 from Colin Munro.
Those 2 big 6s just brought New Zealand back to about par, I would say. 81 for 1. This is a ground where scoring is often a little difficult early because of the nature of the pitch. Nicely bowled. It just sort of holds in the pitch a little bit, and you tend, if you can keep your wickets intact, make hay in the second half. That's that, in terms of one-day cricket anyway, that's the way this pitch has played, Mark.
Yeah, I've seen New Zealand come back from hopeless situations with some good scoring in the second half of their innings, but they're set up beautifully here. Had to wait for it. It was a good slow ball, so the timing was not great. Misfield, and they go on it. And they'll make it comfortably. Just a sign here that the West Indies may be feeling a little rattled. A little under pressure. G. Munro makes the game look simple. Just stand there and belt it.
Colin, I'm going to be staying over.
Sounds like there's a touch of jealousy in that statement, Mark.
You always covet what you can't have, Scotty. Wouldn't the game be fun if you could bat like this? Bowled. Well bowled.
Boy, Ricky! Boy, Ricky!
You've got it. He's a hitter. He stands and hits. And they've got to find bowlers who can find that block hole. Ask them to do something different. If you miss, you're in trouble. But do you have the skill to get the ball there at least 4 times and over? Oh, good stop.
Yeah, I thought it was one thing that New Zealand did get shown up badly on their recent tour to India, both in the one-day internationals in India and their T20s, and that was their inability to get down and flip the ball over, short fine leg over the wicketkeeper. Because if you are finding bowlers who are zeroing in on that Yorker and doing it regularly, then you must come up with an answer. And New Zealand couldn't do that to Bumrah and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar.
Oh, got away with that one. That was right in the slot, and the placement's excellent for more. 89 for 1.
Check it out, dog. You got the walk, you got the stance, but I wasn't really feeling it. I don't know. Shaky on the walk.
Randy Jackson judging a dog show?
I don't know, dog.
Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Lisa saved by switching to Geico.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Get an Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Set up for a big total here with good hitters to come. Bruce, a clever cricketer. Ross Taylor, well, he can boom it if he decides to. That's solid. That is so very hard, and it's a good stop. Well done down there. Diving save in front of the side screens. That's what they have to do.
Yeah, excellent work indeed. By the big man himself. Again, doesn't mind throwing himself around. Used every inch of his frame and nothing to look for.
Oh, that's close. Hit on the ball in front of off. Might have been just outside the line of off. It was premeditated, probably unnecessary.
There is one review. Just, well, the conversation was pretty quick. It doesn't matter where it hits him, because it hit him on the full. The question simply becomes, will it hit the stumps?
This is in the air, and beautifully judged down there, and long on. What a good catch that is from Brathwaite.
Yeah, he places himself in the high traffic areas because he's a big man. He can cover a lot of ground. Put down a difficult chance early in the innings. Fascinated about how he gets low quite easily for such a tall man. That is very well taken. Bend at the knees, bend at the hips, get low. And he pockets it. Important to get rid of the set player. Monroe's gone for 53, 91 for 2.
I'm my team's #1 fan. Yay, sports. I've never been #1 at anything until I put these babies on. Now we're on a winning streak, and I have never taken them off. Do I know where I'm going? Absolutely. We're going to the playoffs.
Allstate guarantees your rates won't go up just because of an accident, starting the day you sign up.
So get accident forgiveness from Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Switching to Allstate is worth it.
It's the start of a new year for you and your family.
And we'd like you to be part of ours.
Happy New Year!
So our Chevy employee discount is still available to everyone.
You pay what we pay, not a cent more.
We're so happy to share this with you.
Because you deserve to start the year off in style.
It's our way of saying Happy New Year.
And welcome to the family.
The Chevy family.
The Chevy employee discount for everyone ends soon.
Tom Bruce is the new player. Danger Man is gone. Phillips is still out there with a decent start. Straight away. Nice one to welcome Bruce. There you go. Get off the mark, son.
Another look at the dismissal of Colin Munro. Again, not timed as well as he would like. He couldn't get the elevation. Brilliant work in the outfield.
The thing about catches like that, not only is he a big man, probably about 6'6", he's probably an inch taller than I am, Carlos Brathwaite, but you see young players just running in and trying to just bend at the hips. Forgot to flex the knees and the hips together to get low.
One, Robin!
$93 for 2. He's had a good start to his T20 international career. Tom Bruce.
He also played, Mark, in the recent series, New Zealand's last T20 internationals, and he just walked to the wicket in India and was aggressive right from ball one.
Did not take any time whatsoever. Didn't try and build an innings. He just went out there and blazed away.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wait, that is a shot when you've just come to the crease. To pick the slower ball, to wait for it and place it.
Yeah, good shot by Glenn Phillips. And it's a well-needed boundary for him because the strike rate has been hovering around 100. He wants to be upping the tempo, having spent time at the crease now.
Right, it's got to get round, Gets there. Yes, it was Phillips who played that good shot. We were worrying on about Tom Bruce. A little bit of a slip there. Boy, that was a good shot. Yeah, Bruce can play aggressively. New Zealand's only lost 2 wickets as they go into the final part of their innings. So get out there and belt it. Oh, this is scooped. This is scooped, and the timing was bad enough that there's no chance of a catch at all. That'll be 100 for New Zealand.
I thought that last shot has almost been the way this whole innings has panned out for New Zealand. There have been plenty of fantastic shots, 9 boundaries, 3 sixes, but in between, a lot of mistimed deliveries and shots that have barely made it to the outfield.
It's wondering from the West Indies or the Windies perspective when Badri comes back in, if he comes back in to bowl that final over. Very rarely does he bowl in the middle of the innings, so he started doing it a lot more often in recent times. Just help to just change up things at the moment.
Also believe, Mark and Bish, that New Zealand will feel like they're behind the game at the moment, ever so slightly. Not a huge amount. I think the recent scores we've seen at this venue, again, more mainly based around one-day cricket, 190 is possibly where they will feel like they need to be.
That's going to help, isn't it? That is going to help you get to a big total with big hits like that.
This over has been very good for Glenn Phillips. A couple of boundaries in it. So that strike rate now was just maneuvered itself from 100 runs per 100 balls to 126, having spent 35 deliveries at the crease now.
It was the on-speed ball, let's call it. So it was bowled at 130k, normal sort of speed. If you're going to bowl that, you don't want to bowl a half volley on leg stump. That is the worst place to bowl it. So good over for New Zealand, that one. It's 108 for 2.
So I'm down here with St John's Ambulance, and there's a few balls flying into the crowd and a lot of people who are wearing their Tui Catch a Million t-shirts, and I know it's exciting, the potential of winning $50,000 for the one-handed six, but we've got to be careful of the people around us. I've got young Zachary in the back here. Zachary, you all right? Give us a wee thumbs up. Wee thumbs up. That was a little tiny wee thumbs up there. He's doing very well. He's doing very well. Another gentleman over here nearly lost a leg, but we're doing okay, so make sure we're careful of the people around us. But Tui Catch a Million, make sure you check out online how you can win your share of $50,000.
Man, the kid was doing great until we thrust a camera in his face. Oh, he's getting a bit of ice. Just took one on the forehead. The young man, he'll be right for the second innings. Badri back on. He has 1 over to bowl. He's been very good. 3 overs, none for 11. Oh, that's solid. How's the placement? It's as good as you like. Always good to get a 49. Call in the auditors. There's a discrepancy here.
I think it's because it's paused rather than passed in, Mark.
Either way, it's legally 49. Oh, trouble. That's awful. That is abysmal.
Ashley Nurse was the fielder. Well, it's 50 now anyway. Now, had he got this on target, that's almost a wide. He threw a wide.
Oh, good timing again. And in the gap. Boy, this outfield is rocketing.
We are just seeing the difference in the back end of this innings. That ball gets slightly softer and older and comes onto the bat nicely. This is turning into a real gem of an innings from Glenn Phillips. Started slowly, couldn't find his timing. Now that strike rate is up to 141.
Far too full to play across the line like that, and this very good innings has come to an end.
Always straight, Badri. You want to go across the line, you take your life into your own hands. He is that good. The economy rate on par with his career. Terrific innings in the end from Glenn Phillips. 55 off 40 for him. New Zealand have lost their third wicket. 118 on the board.
This season, get 4 lines of unlimited data for $100 per month on the Cricket Unlimited 2 plan. Plus, switch now and get up to 4 free LG Fortune phones. All on a network that covers over 99% of Americans. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, and here, more memories, more off the grid, more zen, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Good news for the West Indies is that they have 2 new players at the crease. The bad news is that one of those players who just come here is in a very good vein of form at the moment, Ross Taylor. Coming back into this T20 side, an opportunity. With Kane Williamson having the match off. Rejoining the side and the Mount Maunganui for the next 2. Straight away. Down the wicket and off the mark.
He's such a smart operator, Samuel Badri. He knows that the big shots were coming, so he gets it full, gets it straight. When he bowls with new ball, you'll find his general length is on a good length. Different type of the innings, so he goes full.
Good recovery to the over, really good recovery. 119 for 3.
We didn't set out to make a hit. We just sang our song. Real bourbon, no apologies. Wild Turkey. It'll find you.
Centre stop there, Ross. Right arm over.
Jerome Taylor back into the attack. He's got to bowl to his field at set form with a long on and man at fine leg. So it suggests that he has to be generally very straight. He has got a very good Yorker when it's firing. It's very slippery. I think generally he'd want to bowl straight. A little room, I think, as well for the little off-pace delivery, that the little cutter that he'll bowl on a length. He's got a deep fielder at mid-wicket as well, a square leg, so you don't want to see anything flying through the offside too much, just one man deep.
Well, Ross Taylor has been out of this New Zealand T20 side for a couple of seasons. He tried at one point to reinvent himself and come in as a closer of the New Zealand innings. We could be aggressive.
Starts with the off-pace off-spinner.
In days gone by, the old Ross Taylor that we all knew and loved, where he'd just shuffle across and then just hockey. He was a good hockey player growing up. The wrists would come into play and he would murder attacks through the leg side. And he's gone away completely from that, favouring more traditional cricket shots, but then subsequently lost his place in the New Zealand T20 side because of it.
Now that is close. That is worth thinking about and it's worth giving out, says umpire Brown. It's probably worth reviewing as well.
Copy that, stand by. Third umpire to Gavin. We're a review here for an LBW. Original decision was out. Can I have the front foot first, please, then front on spin vision. It's a fair delivery. If we move on when we can, please. Just rock and roll that for me, please. Doesn't appear to be any bat involved. Can I go to RTS to confirm, please? Just rock and roll that for me, please. Satisfied there's no bat involved. Can we go to ball tracker when ready, please? Impact in line. Wickets hitting. I repeat, wickets hitting. If I can get the umpire back on screen, please. Chris, wickets hitting. You can stick with your original decision. You're on screen now.
So Tom Bruce does not get a start. He goes 120 for 4.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Get an Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
The wild card. This is single elimination.
He caught it! He caught
The team that survives,
you gotta have ice water in your veins,
might ride that momentum all the way to a ring.
That's what it's all about.
Never ignore the wild card.
So rendezvous, Anaru Kitchen. Picked probably a like-for-like replacement without the bowling component in terms of batting style to Colin de Grandhomme. He's a powerful striker.
And he's underway.
I like the content of this over from Jerome Taylor. We talked about his field set at the start of it, and that wicket came as a result. Obviously going for the Yorker turned into a full toss, but at least the line and the theory of what he was trying to do was absolutely correct. Looking to bowl full, looking to go Yorker. It's a bit high, but he's got a lot of protection leg side. Well bowled.
It's also another New Zealand batsman walking across the stumps. A lot of white ball cricketers like to be able to free their arms. If you are going to continue walking across, then you'll miss out on deliveries like that where you can simply baseball it on, if you are batting on, for example, leg stump. By moving across to off, you're limiting your options of somewhat. It's right across in front of off stump. If you simply stood on leg stump, used the original line and would have been an easier stroke to hit through the leg side.
At this stage in the innings, you mid-off and mid-on, even if they're up, will be quite deep. So always a single to them.
So from that perspective then, because I'm thinking with a bowling mind and looking at my field set, tells me what line I should be bowling. How difficult is it to stay leg side, even go outside leg stump and try to hit the ball through or over the offside where there's little protection?
Well, batsmen should be able to do both. That's the art of the game these days, be able to hit the ball 360 degrees.
Good little counter this by the West Indies. A top over. There's 5 from it and a wicket. 124 for 4.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Get an Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Well, they'll be looking at least 10 and over, I think, New Zealand. I think that might be just a little bit above par, the way this surface is played. Ashley Nurse to continue. Swept and swept well. Fine enough for 4. He was committed to the catch, Badri. He wanted to go forward to it because it was in the air, but he just made a meal of it at the end. And these are the little things that make such a difference when you're trying to set a total and also when you're trying to put pressure on batsman Taylor with the lap. Badri tried to commit himself to it because it was in the air. If he had to dive forward, maybe it was a chance. No 2 there. Great opportunity for Anaru Kitchen. He picked in this role to be a closer. Be good to be with Ross Taylor, who give a lot of experience, calm the nerves. Playing a lot of sweeps of late, but also strong down the ground. Oh, he gets it away. Little outside edge, races down to the fine third man boundary. Whatever was the tail to that? Beautiful placement. That'll calm the nerves too. Very strong square of the wicket. Doesn't matter how you get him at this form in this time of the game. You just take them. Under edge, I think. Simon. Out. It's quick, isn't it? Well, this from Ashley Nurse the other day when they went after him a little bit. He just bowled quicker and quicker. 100 Ks, 99 Ks, 95, and back to 100. Whereas Nikita Miller in Christchurch tended to float the ball up.
Keep going, Skins, keep going, Skins!
Beautifully played. I'll get a foot to it though. Will Chris Gale? Does well in the end.
Oh, Chris.
CG, hey.
The very, very first sign of old age.
Timing. 12 runs from the Ashley Nurse over. He's completed his 4, 1 for 32. It is 136 for 4.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Get an Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
I love sports. I just wish they could be with me always. They say you don't choose the app. The app chooses you. It is everything I could ever want in a sports companion. It can stream the games and shows that I love, and it's there whenever I need it.
That's okay.
I never thought I could find an app that loves sports as much as I do. Until now.
Terrific. Just talking to Dave Leonard downstairs. Ernie Leonard obviously played a lot of cricket for Central Districts. He's in charge here in Nelson now. Put the sold out signs up. Had to turn people away at the gate today. So magnificent start to this 2020 series. Jerome Taylor with his last over, 2 for 28. I say ground looks a picture and the crowd are fantastic at the moment.
Besting innings is for Ross Taylor, coming in at number 5, which is lower than he bats in any other form of the game, of course. Just wonder whether this could be one of his last ever games for New Zealand. When you see what they're picking in terms of youth coming forward ahead of him. No, that Kane Williamson's coming back for the next 2 games, home games for him, so I'm not sure he'll bat at 5. A little bit further up than that, I would imagine. So whether we'll see Ross Taylor in T20 colours for New Zealand too much more, I don't know.
Well, Kane Williamson's opened the batting for New Zealand 2020 level, and I've gone on record often saying that I'm not sure if I was selecting this New Zealand 2020 side, I wouldn't have him in my T20 side, and I wouldn't have had Ross Taylor in either, because I think they're so vital to New Zealand's one-day international and test match game that I'd just rather see them plying their trade in those formats. But the different competitions around the world dictate that all these guys want to play 2020 cricket for their country. He's trying hard, catching hit down the ground. Now bat face keeps closing on him. Showing throughout this innings that the medium fast is tougher to hit. Into the all-rounders next.
Bracewell's come from nowhere, hasn't he? A non-contracted player at the start of the season. Bad injury, other issues, of course. And now he's done very well in 2 forms of the game. And, of course, he has been an accomplished test player, so his comeback is really good.
Oh, beautiful from Ross Taylor. Real, genuine power straight down the ground.
And this is why it worries me a wee bit that he won't play too much more. And I get your point, Simon. I think it's very valid. But if you're looking for raw hitting power, he used to have it. He used to have it so much that he made millions of dollars out of it in the IPL. And if he was to get in that mood again and trust himself to hit at this type of form of the game, and I hasten to say form of the game, I don't know, but you just got to have experience. You've got to have experience on the big stage.
I think what's helping his game, and he's gone back to being more side on, and it helps him hit straight. He had a period there where he was very front on and shoulders on, and one of the reasons he probably lost that amazing shot over mid-wicket, the best player in the world at it at one stage, was he couldn't prepare himself. Now he's nice and side on, so he can hit straight, but then he also gets that leverage to go to the leg side. When he does that shuffle, you're in trouble. Great response from Jerome Taylor, but they will push 2. Excellent running.
And another good over from a New Zealand point of view. 13 from it, 149 for 4. 3 to go.
Fully endorsed. They do.
Again, you talk about Doug Bracewell, and back as a genuine all-rounder. He's worked very hard on his batting. I know that New Zealand camp have talked about that a lot, and as the other all-rounders around the country are starting to fall away, no sign of Corey Anderson back at the bowling crease as yet, or batting. James Neesham has been dropped from Otago, and through lack of form, maybe lack of interest as well. So Bracewell really standing up. Brilliant. Yeah, slower ball. Kesrick Williams straight away. It's come off the pad back onto the stumps, but it was deceiving. And that was what it was all about.
It's the great word there, being deceived. Deception. Look at that. The slow ball kitchen through the shot off the pad. It may look like it's slightly unlucky, but it's not. It's beautifully bowled.
Well, he's got to go, and he'll reflect on that throughout his international career. That was his debut performance. He'll get out in more orthodox methods, I'm sure. 149 for 5.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, and here, more memories, more off the grid, more zen, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Now, JR, everyone knows why you're called X Factor.
Yeah, I'm unpredictable.
But not everyone knows why you're called JR.
Stands for Junior.
Jump Shot Ron.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jump Shot Ronald.
Stands for Junior.
Really? It's Junior. I mean, I get it, but you don't want to jazz that up?
No.
Something more fun? All right, guess it's Junior.
What's that one? It's outside. It's on the bunker roll. Yeah, no. Coming over, 5 to come.
Every opportunity. Mitchell Santner. Kesrick Williams has picked up his first wicket. Push for 2, and I think they'll take it.
150 up for New Zealand. They've run well in this innings. Back pad, front pad, inside edge, off stump. Henry Kitchenba did share in a good partnership with Taylor, 29. Got New Zealand into a real launching pad. So now an opportunity for Santner, who's ahead of Bracewell.
Oh, very good. Change of pace from the slower deliveries. Got the quicker one through.
Odd shot, though, to be fair. What are you really trying to do with the shot? It's a nothing sort of a shot. Best result for you is an edge that goes past the wicketkeeper, really. I think the player that comes in this role now is a boundary clearer. It's got to be a strong hitter. So Santner has to play that role along with Taylor. You fire from both ends. You just go. If you want to get to 190, 200, you just hit big ones.
Relax, mate. Don't chase, don't chase. Keep going bounce, keep going bounce.
Superb over so far from Williams. The wicket, the 2 and then 2 dots. Want to close it out. Just puts pressure on Santner. And then that puts pressure on Taylor.
Good short ball, there'll just be one. Ross Taylor will get an opportunity last ball of the over to try and salvage something, but brilliant so far. Kesrick Williams.
It's one of the keys of the game is that when you're a new batsman, you walk out, the first job is to get the guy that's in on strike. Satner got a 2, but then since then hasn't been able to get Taylor. So plenty of variation showed by the Windies bowler. Now Taylor, does he look to clear the boundary or say, right, I'll take a 1 and I'll make sure I'm on strike at the start of the next over?
Yeah, I think take 1 and then try and hit downwind next over. Good. Just shows what Ian Smith was talking about, the experience at this time of the game. 153 for 5.
To the families and friends of the victims, know that we'll do everything we can. We are Vegas strong.
No matter what we're going through, we still have to push forward.
Are you ready to shake up the world?
It takes an act of love to realize we are all in this together.
Made history tonight.
Look at that! It's emotional. I can't explain why, but it is.
I'm asking that you guys join and mobilize with me.
I will say it right now out loud. Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Love you, right? Hey, back out, bro. You gonna shake it, bro.
The things that make us different, those are our superpowers. Go out there and conquer the world. Because the world would not be as beautiful as it is if we weren't in it.
But he's doing that with a real intent, Ross Taylor, of looking to hit straight and then to mid-wicket. I think being able to get the shoulders going has helped him. He's so dangerous. You're right, he made millions of dollars from being able to clear the boundary, the IPL, because of the skill he had.
Well, the skipper's under pressure here. Brathwaite, he's been pummeled a wee bit. It's gone for 9.7 runs per over. New Zealand, I feel, with the likes of Chris Gale to follow in this run chase, will need to get 180. They need to get 27 runs here off 2 overs. And that, if Gale gets going, won't be enough either. That means boundaries, big numbers.
Good Yorker.
Gee, that's well bowled. I know there are so many variations in the game, Simon, then, but if you can execute your Yorker at about 135 k's, it's very hard. You're going to ask a batsman to play one heck of a shot to be able to score a boundary off it. It's the shuffle from Taylor. Wouldn't have mattered.
Yorkers and slower balls will be the order of Carlos Brathwaite. Gets that one away, but not well enough. Not well enough. Jerome Taylor on the mid-wicket boundary, and the full toss strikes again.
Sometimes it's the bad delivery that gets the wicket. It's not an easy shot to be able to put away. Taylor walked outside off stump, a tap of the bat that time too, and he just didn't quite get the timing. So another great time for a wicket from the Windies skipper. Ross Taylor played well for his 20, 153 for 6.
That's why I think this...
Never ignore the wild card.
For the second wicket of 86 that only allowed partnerships of 27, 2, 29 and 4 to follow. So wickets at regular intervals.
4 runs off the last 8 deliveries. So perfect for the Windies.
Carved away, over backward point, Santner picks up a boundary.
It's a good shot, really good shot by Santner. Was able to wait for it. Get it up and over, takes a lot of skill. An area that the Windies wouldn't want to protect. A needed boundary for New Zealand, but also for the confidence of Santner.
They'll protect that one. Pretty easy for Jerome Taylor.
Just adding to your point in about the ground size, the other thing is when you come to a place like Nelson, they get 1 or 2 internationals here. You're in the middle of the block, so it's very even on both sides. So you don't get that short boundary. It's another advantage.
Oh, has he got that? Got brilliant hands. Geez, a good fielder. Terrific athlete as well, the skipper.
This is a freak of nature, this catch. How can you be 6'8" tall, running in, running away to the left, off, get down that low to your right? That is just absolute brilliance. He is an athlete. I've seen some outfielding from him today, which is top drawer. His catch down on the boundary was simply outstanding. That is brilliant. 2 wickets in the over now. Bracewell goes first ball for none. 158 to 7.
Be able to stay down as follow through the headers down, but watch how he reaches across his body just above the ground. Ian Smith said 6'8". The other thing that inspire your side as well.
Yeah, he's done plenty today to do that. People will possibly talk about the early one from Munro that just evaded the hands at mid-off, but everything else he's done today in the field has been sheer brilliance. Doug Bracewell, how do you do that?
I think it's a smile of acknowledgement of that's brilliant cricket.
Well, Tim Southey comes to the crease. His side's under pressure. He's going to have to display all his captaincy powers to defend this. It's 158 to 7. He will swing from the hip, Tim Southey. We know that. This game gives him an excuse to do that. Will it be a success?
Gets it away right in front of the stumps. Brathwaite was about to appeal, but Southey's done well. Got bat on it, picked up a boundary. 162 for 7 with 1 to go.
Oh, it's a game of inches, isn't it? Crossed off stump. If he had missed that, it was either foot or stumps, but he got enough on it. It was brilliantly played in the end. Another needed boundary. Look at that. Look at the reaction.
Right, Kesrick Williams with the last over. 3 overs, 1 for 28. Badri was outstanding. Ashley Nurse 1 for 32. So the spinners have done a good job. It's up to Kesrick Williams to try and keep this under 175. 6 straight down the ground. Lovely strike, Mitchell Santner.
Well, he sets himself a good base here, Santner, because he opens up the body. It's left-hander, so the right leg is the key here. See the way it's spread? Outside leg stump. The left foot is outside off stump, which gives him a baseball-like stance, really. There, he gets ready, and if it's in his zone, it's a free hit down the ground. He can go wide. If the ball's wider, he can carve it through the offside. If it's full and straight, it's harder to deal with. Bowler couldn't do that, and he paid.
No ball, so he'll get a free hit and he'll get 4 more. Costly. Not a good start for Kesrick Williams. Brilliant from Santner.
You mentioned it, in the ability here, or the tactical awareness. He's going to off stump outside, so he's giving himself, that's a tight call, really tight call. But because he's going to outside off stump, you can open up the whole ground. Instead of going outside leg and you cut yourself off, now he's got a free hit. That 175 is now the minimum. Now it's looking maybe 185.
Bill can't change. Same batsman on strike. Another no ball. Another indiscretion from Kesrick Williams.
Oh, this is crazy. His relationship with Wayne Knights is not good at the moment, and we'll see who's right and who's wrong. And its first point of impact is on the line, isn't it? He has to be behind the line. It's a really good call with the naked eye, I've got to say, because the margin there at full speed is very, very fine. So Wayne Knights gets it absolutely right. Williams completely and utterly wrong. And New Zealand are in clover here in this last over.
We've got 13 off 1 so far.
Good captaincy here, Carlos Brathwaite. He's gone up just trying to... He was holding on to the ball. Kesrick Williams just wanted the ball. He wanted to run back in. But he's just trying to settle him down a little bit here. Good captaincy from Carlos Brathwaite. He said, no, I'm not going to allow you to bowl while you're still pent up, while you've got all this anger. Just relax. Get it right. What are you going to do? Where do you want to bowl? Should just be 1. Southey slips, keeper's end, it'll be tight.
It's the other good reason why this is a good ground, because you can run 2s and 3s. And that wasn't timed perfectly, but because the fielder is on the perimeter of the boundary, you've got that opportunity, even if you slip, to come back comfortably.
.15 from the over, 4 balls remaining. Too high? No, good. Very good.
Hasn't been a lot of short balls from the Windies today. Maybe because of the surface, and they're more relaxed. Southey back in the crease. That's a great call too. Very well bowled.
Advancing high in the air over top of where fine leg was. Another no ball. Is that for height?
Oh, this is crazy. All the good work of the West Indies bowlers is being undone by this man here. You can't believe it. He looks at Chris Brown, who's the square leg umpire, who's made the call here. That's right, though. That's above head height. It's way above head height. There's no argument there. It's just indisciplined, inaccurate bowling.
about 175. And then 185. 195's on. 20 off 3 deliveries and still a free hit to come.
See the body language in some of those West Indies players now. They're sinking back.
Swing and a miss, and I'll take one, pinch one. Santner on strike for the last 2. Has he gone no ball again? No. Bye.
Goodness me, all these signals these days. I thought he'd done it again.
I was with you, Ian. I'm sure I saw his arm go out. Whether or not that's to say that was the no ball, you ought to think the signal's gone. Maybe he's just got into a habit for the over.
Swung again. This one be a chance. Didn't get in quick enough. Went backwards. Did hope. Thought it was carrying further.
Keep going bounce, keep going bounce, keep going bounce.
He's running in. I still the leg cut up. Ran in late, as Simon just said. Couldn't get there.
Okay, last ball. Last ball of the innings. If it's legal. It was a no ball again. Sorry, that last one. I'm just losing count here. There's not enough room on our scoreboard for all of these deliveries. 2 runs taken. So that's it. End of the innings. 26 from the over, or is it 28? We're just trying to work it out. Not enough spaces on our scoreboard. But we think it's 28 off the over, and New Zealand will finish with 188 for 7. Right, let's go sideline. Scott Styris with Colin Munro.
Colin Munro, 187. In your mind, is that a good score on this pitch?
Yeah, I think so. I think we set out to get 180 at the start, and obviously losing an early wicket and then Glenn to rebuild. And to be honest, we probably overlooked. We tried to hit the ball a little bit too hard and lost our shape in the front 6. And when I came off, I thought maybe 160 would be par, and we've done a heck of a job. Mitchell Sapna and those cameos from him and the lower order have put us in a good position.
Traditionally, this pitch is stopped a little bit up front with the new ball. Was that the case? Did you find that as well in this particular innings?
Yeah, just a little bit. I think instead of being like a tennis ball bounce, just holding a little bit. So if we can bowl well, I think we're going to have myself and Glenn, who faced majority of the balls, could go and have a talk to the bowlers now and let them know what lengths really worked well.
And last question here, how tough is it to face Badgery up front as a spinner? He's had an amazing career, runs per over, but he looked difficult.
I've played him 3 times and he's got me out 3 times. So today it was, one that I was just trying to get Guppy on strike, and he bowled really well up front. He skids the ball on or just holds a little bit, so he doesn't bowl the same pace at all. So yeah, he's a great bowler, and you can just look at his stats. He's an unbelievable 2020 bowler.
Good luck in the second half.
Cool, thank you.
Colin Munro there, one of the chief contributors, 53 for him. Phillips with 56, and they've allowed New Zealand to get through to 187 for 7. West Indies a little bit over time, so we're down to a 10-minute break. A very short one. We'll be back very quickly with the West Indies reply, looking for 188.
This season, get 2 lines of unlimited data for $80 a month on the Cricket Unlimited 2 plan. Plus, get great deals on LG smartphones when you switch. All on a network that covers over 99% of Americans. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there. More in here. And here. More memories. More off the grid. More zen. More moments to discover. More of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Never ignore the wild card.
JR, everyone knows why you're called X Factor.
Yeah, I'm unpredictable.
But not everyone knows why you're called JR.
Stands for Junior.
Jump Shot Ron.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jump Shot Ronald.
Stands for Junior.
Really? It's Junior. I mean, I get it, but you don't want to jazz that up?
No.
Something more fun? All right, guess it's Junior.
Try to do whatever I could to help the kid out. I'm ready to be on my own. When he was ready to take over the keys, I was ready to give them to him. Everybody kind of forgot about me.
James with an education in elevation. Dazzling once again.
Welcome back to Saxton Oval in Nelson. The break between innings in the first 2020 between the Black Caps and the West Indies. The West Indies winning the toss and choosing to field. And they will require 188. New Zealand scoring 187 for 7 from their 20 overs.
Yeah, they lost Martin Guptill, just missed one really. It's the only way you can describe that. He was out LBW, didn't get started, 5 from 4. Then there was a very good partnership that developed between Munro and Phillips. They just banged away. Munro, we know how good he is. Phillips is just new to the international level, and he showed just how good a player and a good a striker he is. Munro brought up his 50. Just a powerful, powerful player. Then he got out. Just didn't get the elevation. Hit it pretty well. Good catch down there at E2 by Brathwaite, the big man, getting down low. He'll do that later on in the innings as well. Phillips brought up his 50 with a nicely placed square sweep shot. And then he tried it again, but the ball was just a wee bit too full from Badri, who was a crafty bowler, was very good in this game as well so far. Tom Bruce never got going, tried to smash a full toss away and just missed a straight one. It was very straight. Taylor hinted it to getting away on them. Got his way through to 20, I thought played quite nicely, and then was Anaru Kitchen went for 12, didn't get started. So his debut, it's okay, 12 runs, a difficult situation. Taylor hold out as New Zealand were trying to find the boundary. Doug Bracewell, look at that, that's for a catch. Boy, that is a good catch from the big man. Plucked off his shoelaces. And it's a long way down to those shoelaces as well. The last over was a bit shambolic really, with no balls, bounces that were too high, and in the end New Zealand were able to pluck off some handy runs. Runs that Southey and Santner were able to get. It took New Zealand up to what I think is just a little bit above par for this ground, 187 for 7, a good 23 from 11 for Santner as well, just showing that he can hit the ball, hit it into the gaps and hit it strongly as well when required. Pick the bowlers, the leg spinner Badri, 4 overs, 1 for 22.
So the West Indies 188 to win. We'll take another break. Stay with us here on Sky Sport. Coming back from Saxton Oval.
A delicious new year. Party season is Chick-fil-A catering season.
I love sports. I just wish they could be with me They say you don't choose the app chooses you. It is everything I could ever want in a sports companion. That's okay. This is why we practice. I can stream the games and shows that I love. And it's there wherever and whenever I need it. I never thought I could find an app that loves sports as much as I do.
Mississippi Mass Choir.
Until now.
The West Indies will need 188 to win the first T20 against the Black Caps on a beautiful day at Saxton Oval in Nelson, New Zealand. 187 for 7 half centuries to Colin Munro and Glenn Phillips, and a little cameo at the end from Mitchell Santner. 23 off 11 and 25 runs off that final over. So it's waiting for the West Indies batsmen to make their entrance, and it'll be Chris Gale and Chadwick Walton.
Well, the security's still out there on guard, aren't they? I don't think the players really want to go anywhere near them. A little bit intimidated. Just floating round the boundary.
I love throwing those things out. And the results about to get underway.
Big crowd, sold out crowd coming holiday time in Nelson as we head to Mount Maunganui over the New Year period for the rest of the series. But these fans who've come in today should be expecting a good finish, and I think even the Kiwis wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of fireworks off the big bat of Chris Gale.
Well, not if you're one of the bowlers. But yeah, a close game. We haven't had too many close games in the series so far. Something to get excited about.
There will be pressure, that is for sure, on these New Zealand bowlers. Tim Southey, who has been rested, had a hit out for the Northern Knights, his local first-class side in the domestic Super Smash competition. He bowled 4 overs, none for 60. So you would like to think then stepping up to face Chris Gale would make things even tougher. And at the other end, Seth Rance on debut.
And Seth Rance to open up, leading wicket taker in the domestic 2020 competition last year. He's played some one-day cricket for New Zealand.
Well, I like the fact that they've given him the new ball. He can swing it. He bowls to the new ball for his provincial side and is very successful with it. So give him the best chance. Give him familiar territory. First up, good leadership from Southey.
Made his debut at this ground, his 2020 debut domestically. 4 Central Districts against Canterbury some 8 years ago. All right in that game too, 4 for 13.
The only issue he's going to have is when he runs in, not first up, is that he'll be looking straight down the barrel of one Chris Gale. And he'll realise that he is now playing international T20 cricket.
Guy at the other end, Chadwick Walton, has had a big couple of seasons in the Caribbean Premier League. So whilst that international record for Walton isn't overly impressive at the moment, he looks to be on the rise as an opening batsman. He can do a job. And it's important from the West Indies perspective that he at least does some of the scoring, so all the pressure doesn't solely go on Chris Gale, who does like to take his time to build into his innings.
Your right arm in swing bowler, be very careful bowling that line when you've got fine leg up in the circle. It is dicing with it.
Tends to swing the ball back as a stock delivery. He's getting some good movement. Walton unable to catch up with it. The other thing from New Zealand's perspective to remember is Chris Gale is not as sprightly between the wickets as he once was, so they need to make sure that he runs everything out.
Straight at that. Good bit of fielding from the New Zealand captain, Tim Southey.
This one bowled at 140k. He's got an action that belies the speed numbers that the radar and the speed gun's picking up. There's a little bit of swing there. Movement at that pace can be quite effective.
When he first came on the domestic scene, he was nowhere near 140. He was a mid-120s bowler. He never used to really scare you in any way, shape or form. But if those numbers are correct, 137, 139, 140, then he has done a lot of work, and no wonder he's picking up leading wicket taker titles in competitions like the Super Smash.
Well, he's going to get a slip because of the movement he's getting into the right-hander away from the left-hander. So there's a slip in place there against Gale. I like that move. He just needs to be careful not to give Gale too much width outside the line of off stump. Strong cover field. Now mid-off will drop back. So he's got cover if he gets hit straight. But too much room and he'll get banged through that cover field.
Very nice, tidy start so far from Seth Rance.
That swing won't be there for long, and that's why Gale is being a little circumspect. Listening to Colin Munro at the interview that I did with him just in that halftime break, he said it held with the new ball in the pitch a little bit to begin this match, and it'll be interesting to see whether that still happens in the second innings. The sun has been baking down on this pitch.
That one's clipped away and over. Mark Richardson fixed it earlier. And this time Walton helps himself to 4. 6 without loss after the first over. Alvey, the captain for this match at least. On the other end.
Gale's been in great form too in the circuit, if you like, Bangladesh Premier League. Huge 100 in the final. 18 sixes, I think it was.
Goes hard at that, and that's through. That will race away.
Often it only takes one of these shots to get players like Gale going, and this was a goodie too. Just short of a length, he just stood and hit it on the top of the bounce. Simple, effective, very efficient.
Immediate call is 2. I don't think they'll get that though. Cut off by Santner.
I'm not sure about you, Mark, but I felt throughout that New Zealand batting innings they were an over behind the whole way. I felt that 190 was about par. Colin Munro at the interview felt 180 was the score. But they got that big last over, 25 runs off it, which brought New Zealand right back in this contest. I think if it were finished at about that 170 mark, the West Indies would be pretty pleased with their effort in the first 20.
Beaten this time, Walton.
And over behind, Williams did his best to give New Zealand an extra over in the last over. Once you get up to scores over 170, you get the luxury. It's not that you don't aim for it, but you get the luxury of maybe withstanding an early onslaught from the likes of Chris Gale, and then if you can get a couple of wickets, you've got enough runs to pull it back and add some scoreboard pressure. But if you only make a score of about 160 and a guy like Gale gets going and has a little cameo of, let's say, 40 or 50, the game can be taken very quickly, and it makes it very easy for the others to just play safe cricket, if there is such a thing.
I think it's fair to say Chris Gale's not the player he was, say, 5 years ago. But there's still that fear factor involved with, and the aura that he has. You still know that he can win a game for you. And I think it's one of the most remarkable stats in cricket. That career T20 runs, he has hit more runs in boundaries than anyone else has in runs in their career. Number 2 on that list is Brendan McCullum. And Gale simply has more runs solely in boundaries than McCullum has full stop.
He really took to this T20 game, didn't he, Chris Gale? It's been a good game for him.
Oh, that's through him, beaten. Good finish to the over from Southey. 6 from it, 12 without loss.
To the families and friends of the victims, know that we'll do everything we can. We are Vegas strong.
No matter what we're going through, we still have to push forward.
Are you ready to shake up the world?
It takes an act of love to realize we are all in this together.
We made history tonight.
Look at that! It's emotional. I can't explain why, but it is.
I'm asking that you guys join and mobilize with me.
I will say it right now out loud. Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Nothing, right?
Put your hand back on, bro. You gonna shake it, bro.
The things that make us different, those are our superpowers. Go out there and conquer the world. Because the world would not be as beautiful as it is if we weren't in it.
Seth Rance will continue for New Zealand, 6 from his first over.
The other thing too, I think, with Chris Gale is, just mentioned in the last over, he's a little bit of a liability running between the wickets.
Walton clips that away again. There is a man out there and he will cut it off. Good work, Bracewell.
And because of that, often twos then become ones, and even opportunities to drop the ball and run, singles become dots, so they build up. That means that this West Indies side in the front 6 overs, whilst Gale is there, become a boundary hitting side only. That ability to turn, if you don't find the boundary, those overs into 10 or 12 just simply doesn't become a reality.
Sodhi with the chase, and they will get through for 2 comfortably this time. Gale ambles back.
Very square offside field in terms of up in the circle. Massive gap between what is effectively extra cover and long off, who's relatively wide anyway.
Gale's given some width and he'll just slash away over the top of the infield for 4.
I think it's a tough field to bowl to. He's got a long off and a deep backward square, which means there's protection on both sides of the wicket. Cannot give any width whatsoever. There is no protection at third man or even deep point. Simple for Gale to open the face of the blade and go up and over. He's too powerful to miss out. Beautiful stroke.
Yeah, I think he needs to be straight to Gale. Even though there's plenty of room on the onside, it's more likely Gale will pick off 1s and 2s in that area rather than find the boundary.
This one's gone high and up and they'll chase back. I think it might be too far. Oh, that's an excellent effort, Glenn Phillips. What a catch by the New Zealand wicketkeeper. He had to get the afterburners going and got to it with time. Brilliant.
Well, he's having a good game, Phillips, isn't he? Half century with the bat and then a fantastic catch off the danger man, that is Chris Gale. He's removed them with a great display of athleticism here. Just have a look at this. He's had to turn. It's gone up. He knows it's over his head. He's turned. He's running. He's claimed it. And he's at full stretch. What a beauty that is. Gale's gone. Gone for 12. 19 for 1.
Andre Fletcher, the new batsman for the West Indies, after an extraordinary catch from Glenn Phillips, the New Zealand keeper. Oh, there's another one. Oh, another great catch. 2 in a row. Seth Rance. And it's Anaru Kitchen on debut with an excellent bit of fielding again.
They're both debutants featuring here. Hat-trick opportunity for Seth Rance. First was a great short ball to Chris Gale, and now it is the other opening batsman, Chadwick Walton. New Zealanders are flying around in the field. Sensational catch. Big trouble for the Windies.
Walton goes for 7. 2 in a row for Rance, and now 19 for 2.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, and here, more memories, more off the grid, more zen, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Left alone by Shea Hope, the new batsman. The crowd getting into it as well. What an over from Seth Rance. 2 wickets. Now the Windies 19 for 2.
What a start. Maybe on cloud 9 if there were any clouds around. This is a super catch. It doesn't matter that he's got gloves on. You lose sight of it, you can get disorientated very quickly. It's a big blue sky, which makes perception difficult, and he was in control of that the whole way. Immediately under pressure once again, the West Indies. It's been like that for them the whole way through this series. They come into a game in which they're the world champions, a form which they should be quite comfortable with, have a ton of confidence, immediately under the gun once again. Who's going to stand up for them?
That one's a great shot, that's true. That'll be, oh, 1 bounce 4. Might have a little look at that. That's Andre Fletcher off the mark in fine style.
Well, this is what Walton was trying to do, wasn't he? It was a similar sort of delivery, quite full and outside off stump. But you got to decide, do I go up and over or do I along the ground? And that's, I think that's gone for 6. I think that's it. Can you call it a rope? What do you call that? Boundary rope? The boundary prism? Hoarding?
It's a boundary mark.
Right. Call it 6. Boundary cardboard. The boundary cardboard.
Fletcher goes again. Oh, push for 2. Oh, nearly mix up. Good bit of fielding.
Yeah, someone yelled out keeper, and that was great work from the New Zealanders because Fletcher was struggling. And you had hope it was looking all right. Fletcher was struggling because he obviously played the shot and he was just a little bit behind. And the communication in the field was brilliant, and that's what stopped it.
Well, Kitchen did all the work getting to the ball as quickly as he could because he doesn't have the strongest of arms, but he is quick across the ground, and often, especially as an unknown player, when the opposition don't know a lot about you. And the way he took that catch in the last over, no problems thinking he was an absolute gun, which he proved. It's 26 for 2.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, and here, more memories, more off the grid, more zen, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countrymen.
Both the West Indies openers, Gale and Walton, are gone. And consecutive balls from Seth Rance, 2 excellent catches, one from Glenn Phillips, one Hunter Kitchen. And that's left the West Indies 26 for 2. Chasing 188 to win. Shea Hope yet to get off the mark. Andre Fletcher, the other batsman, and the new bowler, Doug Bracewell. Oh, Shea Hope's going to run and go quickly and he'll get off the mark, but it, oh, wasn't that convincing?
Yeah, we're checking for a run out because there could have been some lazy running going on here.
Third umpire to Gavin, Run out check, please. Best side on view of that run out, please.
Why is he checking that?
Just rock and roll it for me, please. Just rock and roll it.
Just said there was some lazy running, Mark. That's why.
Take it back.
I was hoping for something that more justifies checking it than that.
Stumps, please.
Just 2020 is.
Thank you. My decision is not out. I repeat, not out. If you can load that.
Easy decision for Sean Haig either way.
A swipe, that's straight, and it'll be 4. Good shot from Fletcher.
Yeah, the strapple, the straight pull. If the ball just does hold up, stand up a little bit, it was traditional pace, 136, but just the deliveries that are just short of a length, and maybe just sitting up somewhat, not short enough to really totally get into the pull shot, but short enough to give you time to get the hands through it.
Samuel Badgery was the best of the West Indian bowlers, and I have a sense that once this power play is done and dusted, this match really starts to get interesting. Two New Zealand spinners, Ish Sodhi along with Mitch Santner, have been outstanding in this version of the game for a couple of seasons, and Badgery doesn't often get a lot of turn, but he was today. Great way to finish the 5th over. 34 for 2.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Get an Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
New Zealand were 35 for 1, the West Indies 34 for 2 after 5 overs. Nice crowd has turned up here today, really nice crowd. It's been here for about 3 days there in Nelson, and today definitely the least windy and the warmest of the day's good cricketing weather. And a real kitchen into the attack. Big test for Shea Hope as well. He's only played a handful of domestic T20s on international debut today, so curious to see how he paces the innings. If he gets in, can he then explode? And hello to Simon Dool and Craig Cumming.
An opportunity for Kitchen with the ball. It's one of the things he's really worked hard on the last 2 years.
In there.
More of an old style spinner in that he'll use slowing the pace down, lack of pace. He won't be a big turner of the ball.
Very nice from Fletcher. He's played some quite pleasing shots, pleasing on the eye, that is, so far in this innings.
Yeah, always thought he had a lot of ability, Andre Fletcher. Seen glimpses of it. Different times. He's a wonderful striker, and that first ball over extra cover proved that.
Well, he's played 2 of the nicest shots in the match. 6 over extra cover. He looks like he likes the offside here. Kitchen might try and dart it into leg stump.
Lovely, lovely.
Nice touch, nice drop and run. Fletcher's game has expanded quite nicely over the years. He used to be down the ground primarily. If you didn't go into that zone, then he struggled. But his horizontal bat shots have improved. His driving is still imperious. Nice from Shea Hope. Ends the over beautifully. 44 for 2.
Check it out, dog. You got the walk, you got the stance, but I wasn't really feeling it. I don't know. Shaky on the walk.
Randy Jackson judging a dog show?
I don't know, dog.
Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Lisa saved by switching to Geico.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there. More in here. And here. More memories. More off the grid. More zen. More moments to discover. More of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Joe Santner into the attack. Well, quite nicely in that last ODI against the West Indies. Got the ball to grip, bowled a nice piece, varied it quite nicely. Played well with the bat today as well. Should be confident. They go upstairs.
Third umpire to Gavin. Review for a run out. Can I have the best view of that run out, please? That appears to be down. Can you just take that back for me, please? Can I shoot the other side, please, Gavin? Get another view of the other side. Thank you. I'll come back, Brooke. Hold on, guys, hold on.
Hold it. Keep on.
Stand by, guys. Is it there? Thank you. My decision is not out. I repeat, not out. Load that to the board, please.
Not bad.
Pretty straightforward in the end.
Yeah. Oh, pick up set.
Great hands, Mitchell Santner on that occasion. Ross Taylor getting back-to-back opportunities to throw the stumps down. Mitchell Santner with a brilliant pick up there.
The top one's going as well, bro.
Oh, slower turned. Nice.
Beautifully bowled. We saw that in the one-day international. Santner will take pace off the ball, 78. And he seems to get turned. Looked like more of a top spinner. But did him through lack of pace and allowed it to bounce.
I'd like to see that again because the seam direction was more forward spin, as you alluded to it being a top spin. And for young viewers looking on, you usually see the seam go pointed a little bit more sideways. Got it through. Chase is on. So he's had to put in one or two big ones. Well chased. Good cooperation down there on the boundary.
Yeah, this is the one you were talking about, Ian Bishop. Almost gets that hand right around with the back of the hand towards the keeper and gets it over the top. Creates the slow nature and the top spin.
Oh, goodness. Ask Ashwin, sometimes it works the full toss. 48 for 2.
Well, a lot of criticism of Ross Taylor and the role he does there. It just shows, obviously, they're trying to introduce Guptill, and it's that short, sharp sprint, but it's also the stopping quickly.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point. Ish Sodhi coming into the attack. Martin Guptill's got terrific hands. He's quick enough, but he's not having to stop and turn and prop and do all of that work inside the circle. I think it reintroduces him back into the game a little gentler.
Hit me! Oh, Rancer.
Spoke to Sodi this morning about his plans. He said he normally has A, B, C and D, but you cannot let the batsman settle. So he's always trying to change his plan, but he doesn't have too many thoughts. He thinks about it between balls.
Oh!
I was hoping you'd go more in depth on those A, B, C and D plans. Craig, come in.
No, we're just going through that, Ian, with Simon. He had his own theory of what A was.
Oh, just trying to work it out, A, B, C and D. So we've got A wrong in, B for block hole perhaps, C, cramp the batsman up, don't give him any room maybe. Not sure what you'd go with D.
The dolly.
Leave that one out.
Keep caught on the boundary.
50 came up for the West Indies, 50 for 2. Now, how they play the middle phase of the innings, even in ODIs, has always been a question. They're a big boundary hitting team historically, the West Indies.
Well, these two players, Ian Bishop and Jason Mohammed, hold the key to getting the West Indies to a point where they might need 10 and over for the last 6 and then unleash the skipper. Even 11 and over for the last 5 or 6 is well and truly on if you unleash Brathwaite at that stage.
And Rothman Powell. So it's about setting it up. 8 overs completed, 53 for 2.
Orthodox on the right, but the variation from Satner on the left.
It's more of a wide off stump and wide outside from Satner, whereas I thought with his spin he might have gone a little bit straighter. Don't know that Fletcher's a big sweeper of the ball. The man at square leg is just in front of square. There's no one behind square deep.
He's trying to take the slog sweep out of the game, out of the play and out of the option. So floaters and then that brilliant arm ball. We just saw a great example of that.
Almost left him down the track. It was a bit wider than Fletcher anticipated, but he managed to get bat on it.
Good shot. Very good shot. Kept his composure there, Andre Fletcher. That's an easy one to just flail at and miss or scoop up in the air, but he's actually managed, even though he was a long way from it, to keep his shape.
Arm ball again. Very good arm ball.
He stayed nice and low in it. When you talk about that shape, Simon. But the arm ball now, the drift that he's getting into off stumps. So he's saying the start's wide, then it will come in, or it'll be slow and turn.
It's a plan. It is very wide of off stump, which to me is unusual.
Yeah, well, just look at the speeds. 80 kilometres, so slow and wide. Arm ball at 100, slow and wide at 79, arm ball at 103, slow and wide at 81. Do we see the arm ball again? Yes, sir. I'll pick up an extra one though. No, they won't. Just not quite ready for it. 57 for 2.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Get an Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countrymen.
New Zealand were 81 after 10 overs or the halfway mark. Struck it nicely, struck it very well indeed. He's playing a nice hand here, Andre Fletcher.
The power there. Used his feet, got to it on the full. Hit the middle of the bat, went past Sodhi before he'd even blink. And mid-off is quite straight. Didn't have a show. Boy, he's impressive. He's got great timing, especially on the offside.
Yeah, left him down the track. He came too early, showed his hand much too early, and Sodhi's had him for dinner.
Great response, Sodhi. Dragged it back a little bit. Won't be happy with the full toss first up, but just dragged that length back. Turned as well, turned and bounced. Good work, Phillips. Might look easy, but it's turned, it's bounced. He's still got to do the clean-up work, so well done, Glenn Phillips. Nice work, Sodhi. Fletcher, dangerous, gone for 27 at 61 for 3.
The other thing that was impressive, he saw that Fletcher was looking to use his feet. Now, the wrong end is such a big part of Sodhi's plan, but if you use your feet, you don't quite get to the pitch of it, it's turning in, it's easy as a batsman. Because he was using his feet, the leg spinner becomes the option available because it's going away from the bat. So that's a great example of thinking of your feet that Sodhi talked about his plans. It's being
Jason Mohammed, the mid-order batsman who's fairly experienced domestically at this format. He's at the crease, usually a man who stabilizes the innings and then looks to explode at the back end whenever he plays these T20s. Mentioned a little while ago, what's the line of this delivery? Just outside the off-stump, and with the ball spinning, it's why I wondered if another option for Satna was to bowl a little bit straighter, not like stump, but just because the ball is turning and holding up, there would be so much difficulty in guys if he bowls middle and off to go leg side, and then he can bring the arm ball. So it's just an option, it's not a criticism of it.
Yeah, it's not silly. I think all we've seen is that he doesn't want to allow anyone to try and hit with that wind. It's almost like cat and mouse. I know that you're under pressure. You have to score it now, 12.5 and over. So I'm not going to give you that option that you might just get one. I might get you out, but you might get one away, and I don't want to put that into the game.
I'm giving him one away to get a wicket. I'm giving it, Simon.
Yeah, I know. He's just miserly.
Successful over for Ish. Halfway mark, 64 for 3.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here and here. More memories, more off the grid, more zen, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass, plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
64 for 3, the West Indies, 10 overs now. Sodhi with the most recent wickets was a good spell for New Zealand as well. At the same time, Bracewell back into the attack for New Zealand.
Asking rate is 12, over 12 now. The second half of the innings. They've lost 3. Ideally, that's not great, but 7 wickets in hand going to the final half of the innings. All right. It's not dreadful, but over 12's required already.
I mentioned the last time, Mark, that we were on commentary, you and I, that I felt the game really starts at that 7 over mark when Tim Southee brings on those 2 spinners. Sodhi and Mitch Santner have been so good for New Zealand for a couple of seasons in this version of the game. He's Sodhi 1 for 12 off 2. Santner none for 8 off 2. That was Glenn Phillips to dismiss the big wicket of Chris Gale. So 4 overs, 1 for 20 from the 2 spinners so far.
And that's in the air. Now Bracewell's into the action. Straight to Ross Taylor. And another one goes to the West Indies. Mohammed it is. And Doug Bracewell gets his first of the match.
What's he tried to do here? Hang around the back foot and just sort of bat and foot together at the same time. Never set. It's awful. And that type of shot leads to you getting out. He's out for 3. And that is 66 for 4.
It's time for some straight talk. You got their unlimited plan, but you still seem to run out of high-speed data. Not anymore. Introducing Straight Talk's Ultimate Unlimited Plan. That's right, Ultimate. Get all the 4G LTE data you want, all high speed, and all for just $55 a month. That's endless data on America's largest, most dependable 4G LTE networks. Get data that never runs out. Only from Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Get an Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Rovman Powell, the new batsman for the West Indies, played in all 3 of the one-dayers. Quick fire, 59 in that first match in Whangarei. It out and it's off the mark straight away.
Yeah, the old cover stomp. Made famous by Simon Doull against fast bowlers. But it's not a good shot. And it's not something that should be celebrated.
There aren't many cricketers around the world who have a stroke named after them, is there? Simon Doull with the cover stomp from New Zealand's perspective. Trent Boult with the crane.
Oh, there's another one. Straight away. Bracewell 2 in the over. They're sharp in the field today, New Zealand, but the West Indies are helping them out.
They have been exceptional in the field today. Catches for the first 2 wickets, a couple of simpler ones in this particular over, but Doug Bracewell drags it down, but it was a slower ball, no timing. And Colin Munro takes a simple catch. Shea Hope has been dismissed. Big trouble for the West Indies now. Hope has gone for 15. 67 for 5.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, and here, more memories, more off the grid, more zen, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Flipped away straight away to finish an excellent over. Doug Bracewell, 2 wickets and 4 runs from it, 68 for 5.
Well, this is something that's been lacking in the West Indies game right throughout the tour, be it Test matches, One Day Internationals and now T20s, is control. Lack of control about how and when and where they're playing these strokes. Once again, ball better hit, but you don't go over the top, you don't go along the ground, you hit a catchable height straight to a fielder.
Well, I'm looking forward to this battle. Ish Sodhi has had the wood on Carlos Brathwaite. He's a terrific player of pace bowling, in particular Brathwaite. Not quite so proficient when it comes to spin. So you see whether Tim Southey then now goes back to Mitch Santner while Brathwaite's at the crease.
Well done, bear. Oh. Hit.
Get the sense coming out very well for Sodhi. He's got good control in his short spell so far. There's been very few poor deliveries. He just gets that little bit extra jazz on the ball, you could call it, as compared to Astle. Maybe that's why he's in the side, because of the extra variation, as opposed to Astle, who was good in the one-day series.
But it's a brilliant scenario, though, for New Zealand from their perspective, isn't it? You've got Sodhi dominating in the T20 version. Todd Astle took his chances and opportunities in the one-day series. And in the Test matches, our pitchers don't tend to break out. Therefore, spin doesn't play as big a hand. Test cricket in New Zealand, so Mitch Santner has more of a holding role to go with his fielding and batting. The spin stocks are looking up, that is for sure.
Excellent over from Ish Sodhi. 5 singles from it. West Indies 73 for 5 after 12 overs.
So the West Indies leave shortly. They leave New Zealand and Pakistan reach our shores, and they are here for an ODI series. We've got 5 games starting on the 6th of January. We go Wellington. We're back here in Nelson at Saxton Oval. We go to Dunedin, Hamilton, and then we are heading back to Wellington, which is going to be great. So if you haven't already, go and buy your tickets. Make sure you come out and support the Black Caps.
Exactly as Scott Styrer said, bringing Santner back on. Spin from both ends. take on the West Indies captain Carlos Brathwaite.
Somehow they've got to get this asking rate down again. It's at 14.4 right now, and that means targeting a bowler. Who's the best opportunity to bang here? Who do we take on? What Santner's doing nicely is because he's got the slow delivery, he becomes a real wicket taker if bowlers decide to attack him. He's got the variations.
That's going to go. Call it, net player out there. It's just fallen short. Munro's lost it completely. Did it carry?
Continues the excellent work that New Zealand have produced in the field. Hit it relatively well, certainly not out of the middle. Munro gave it his best, just on the half volley. But made sure, most importantly, the ball stayed in front of him. And whilst he wasn't sure where it went, no chance for the ball to run away for 4.
Oh, swing.
Follows it up brilliantly, Santner.
That was beautifully bowled, that one. That was the drifter. So it started quite wide. Powell's eyes would have lit up a bit, and then it just drifted in and closed down all his room. Nice piece of bowling.
Oh, that's gone through the legs of Phillips. I will cut it off.
Let it go.
There was some bat in it.
Bottom edge. Nothing Phillips could do about that. The boundaries are proving elusive.
Digs that one out. Phillips will chase after it for just another single. This is good, tight stuff from the New Zealand spinners, and it's now 78 for 5.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, and here. More memories, more off the grid, more zen, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
West Indian worm is taking a big nosedive at the moment. Wickets falling in clumps. The New Zealand spinners, a tight job.
You know that there's a worry from Carlos Brathwaite's perspective, because you don't mind seeing that as a bowler when a guy's got all the power in the world and he starts getting funky like this. That means he's not quite sure, firstly, which way it's spinning, and secondly, that he's going to able... There it is. Just do that, Carlos Brathwaite. I don't want to see another reverse sweep. Just straight and hard and long.
Yeah, picked it, gave himself plenty of room, was looking for some flight. Sodhi gave him the flight. Brathwaite gave him the biff.
And he goes again. Straighter again, and the same result. Slightly different side of the sight screen.
So good from Brathwaite. That is the power he possesses, and that is why he should keep looking straight. Inside half of the bat, but he's just too strong and powerful.
He's hardly hit that. He has mistimed that. That is just straight muscle. Sodhi bowled it quite well. He wanted to give him the chance to swing again, but he just kept it a little bit tighter. Looked to attack the stumps more, but Brathwaite just went more to the onside.
Good response from Sodi. He's been hit for 2 sixes.
It's just back to back. The first one over the offside, over long off. Got that nicely. This one, the inside half. But still with the pitch of the ball, he's so tall that he can just get those long levers working.
Let me on the roof.
And that's a bit of length. That's where Brathwaite can't get out to the pitch of the delivery. That last one, 88 metres the first, and well, I would never have picked that the second was longer.
Yeah, the slider there from Sodi was a good game plan there, because with the 2 sixes, he doesn't have the luxury now of really throwing it up and looking for the wicket again.
Good finish to the over from Sodi, but much needed 13 from it for the West Indies, 91 for 5.
Before we start, I just want to say if anyone still doesn't have FiOS, please stay out of the way so your lag doesn't get us all killed. Ben,
what's so good about FiOS anyway?
What's so great about a 100% fiber optic network that makes your gaming system actually work awesomely?
Hey, did you take out the trash?
Garbage boy.
Dad, I already took out Ben.
It's not funny.
Gaming is best on a 100% fiber optic network. So get FiOS, now just $79.99 per month with a 2-year price guarantee with a 2-year agreement.
You're needing over 16s. They're unlikely to get that down to something that you would describe as manageable. But if they can take this game deep, if they can be there, even needing 18 from the last over with a couple of wickets there, just a chance for someone to hit it. But they're going to have to take risks the whole way through now.
That's not, just over the head of the fielder. Tim Southey bringing himself back into the attack for New Zealand. Almost picked the man out.
He certainly flicked the switch now, has Brathwaite. He knows at 16 runs and over, it is all out of salt. That's high on the blade. And thankfully, he's got enough power, otherwise that just simply loops to mid-wicket.
He's gone again. He's scooped that one. There's a player underneath it, and it's the simplest of catches on the boundary for Tom Bruce. So another bowling change for New Zealand, and it works a treat once more. This time it's Tim Southey, the New Zealand captain. He gets rid of his opposite. Carlos Brathwaite goes.
It looked like a lovely little chip, didn't it? He just never hit it. I thought a man as big as that, this one's going miles, but in the end it was like he was giving catching practice down there. Purposely not trying to hit it too hard, so it wouldn't go all the way. He looked dangerous, not for long enough. Gone for 21, 93 for 6.
It's the start of a new year for you and your family.
And we'd like you to be part of ours.
Happy New Year! So our Chevy employee discount is still available to everyone.
You pay what we pay, not a cent more.
We're so happy to share this with you.
Because you deserve to start the year off in style.
It's our way of saying Happy New Year.
And welcome to the family.
The Chevy family.
The Chevy employee discount for everyone ends soon.
Well, they're going to put the pressure on here, and I said New Zealand have been sharp in the field.
Another look at the chance of the dismissal of Carlos Brathwaite. Didn't have to move one iota, straight down his throat.
I'll give him the credit that he was trying to maybe hit it squarer than that, but the end result didn't look good, did it?
Oh, that doesn't look good either. Edged and gone. Another good catch. Low diving for Glenn Phillips. He's having a whale of a game, the young New Zealand keeper. New Zealand skipper. Tim Southey with 2 wickets in the over.
Well, it was there. The width was there to try to run it. He just edged it. That's all. I don't have much problem with the attempt there, the intent. But in the end, the execution was just an edge. And another one goes. The power is back in the shed. 94 for 7.
Shot with Rodman Powell. A little bit of a lazy stroke, didn't commit to it. Sort of just wafted the bat. The edge found, good catch from Phillips.
That's gone high, and again there's another player out on the chase, and what is a good effort, couldn't quite get there. And a signal Seth runs, signals 6 runs. That ends the over, 2 wickets from it. Might be too little too late. 101 for 7.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there. More in here. And here. More memories. More off the grid. More zen. More moments to discover. More of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass, plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Just a matter of 87 runs off 5 overs for the West Indies to pull this one out of the bag. Most unlikely. They have just compounded again. We've seen it so often. And here was another example of it. Almost, but not quite. Rance running just inside the line of it. Couldn't pick it up. And much needed. 6 for the West Indies cause. There's Mitch Santner.
Oh, yes, to me. Hands it in there to me.
You're a golfer. You guys are both golfers, Bish and Dooley. Man, if we're playing golf today, the West Indies would have won. They've been nearest the pin when it's come to hitting it straight to fielders. Goodness me.
Catch it all.
Leading edge.
In the air, Mudders.
They'll go for 2, and they'll get there.
Sort of the line that we were discussing earlier, Dooley. I know that you were going for it. Go ahead.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. But now he's making the batsman hit into the wind so he can afford to bowl straighter. I think he maybe wants to tie the batsman's pads up now.
Even with the wind, the leading edge won't go over the boundary. Just an option. I understand your point and I get that and I grasp that option. I just salivate at the other way.
Oh, done again. Done again. I thought there was a bit of bat involved as well, which makes it even more effective, but what a day for Phillips. Super impressive.
And for Mitch Santner. Finished things off nicely with the bat, came out, said he must have some confidence with him, and he's done it. He bowled beautifully. He's only gone for 15 into his last over, picked up his first wicket there. Tidy work from Phillips as Kesrick Williams departs for 3, 103 for 8.
Really?
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there. More in here. And here. More memories. More off the grid. More zen. More moments to discover. More of what matters. Right now, get a Mini Epic Experience Pass, plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
Try to do whatever I could to help the kid out. I'm ready to be on my own. When he was ready to take over the keys, I was ready to give them to him. Everybody kind of forgot about
me. Number 10, averaging 12.86, high score 21, needs to triple that and in a hurry. And for those purists of the game will know that the first method of dismissal is always the one that's recorded officially.
If you guys think
Last batsman out was adjudged caught behind, not stumped. Little flick of the glove. Straight hit for 6. Is it? Oh, would have been one of the great ones. Oh, you see this happen so often these days. Doug Bracewell. That's phenomenal. Now, the rules have changed about this in a weird sort of a way, haven't they?
Yeah, but he threw it back in. I think you'll find he jumps up, leaves the field of play. That's fine. Throw it back in before you land. No issue, I think. Does he hit the rope here, the advertising hoarding? Let the ball go, let the ball go, let the ball go. There. Fine.
Oh, I don't know. Don't know. I don't know about that, Simon. You've got to look for an indentation on the ANZ sign with his foot.
There.
Where's the ball? Where's the ball?
6. Change my mind.
It's a big moment in a lot of people's lives, this.
He's touched it there, but is the ball out of his hand? That's the issue. Is there any other angle from the other side where the ball actually leaves the hand? The ball's out of the hand there. No, it's not. Fingers are on it.
Spectacular piece of cricket. I don't know what T20's all about.
So a brilliant piece of work will go unrewarded from Doug Bracewell. And it's a boundary 6. A for effort though. Almost brilliant. First debut for Seth Rance today. 2 for 13 from 2. One of which was Chris Gale.
It's good bowling from Santner as well, isn't it? He's finished his 4 of a spell, 4 for 21 and 1 wicket. Did a very, very good job.
This is some catch if you missed it earlier. This is a guy who doesn't do a lot of keeping but will do a lot more on the form that he showed today. Just outstanding judgment there, commitment. Always feel a bit uncertain with other players running towards the ball, but he committed himself. It was just a beautiful piece of work which got rid of probably the world's most lethal player in this situation. No! Although we're still waiting to see it of late. Saw it in Bangladesh not long ago, didn't they?
Yeah, it's a shame actually for cricket fans across New Zealand that have not seen the best of Chris Gale. Injured after the first game, came back for the third game of the ODI series in Christchurch. Failed today. Much as I'm sure New Zealand fans want to see the Black Caps win. They want to see one of the world's most destructive perform.
I look at the construct of what the West Indies team, the Windies team could have been, and I'm just stepping back in time for a moment again. I'm not saying it's ever going to happen again, but you think Gale and Evan Lewis had some issues. He needed to go back home, Evan Lewis. 200s in T20 since the last World T20 victory. You think Dwayne Bravo, who's playing his wiles with the slow balls and cutters down in the Big Bash at the moment. Andre Russell comes to the end of his ban on January, at the end of January.
Marlon Samuels.
Oh, this is a good shot. Is it or not? Oh, it's got Tim Southey confused. He hit it clearly. Got a lot of bottom hand there. Just off the bat, down breeze, I thought 6 initially, but bottom hand hit it up rather than down.
It's a fielder. I don't think you ever want to be underneath this one. Running back with the wind, pushing the ball further down the ground. You spin like a top. You don't pick up the trajectory, and embarrassingly, it falls 5 feet away from you.
Little laugh about it there, I think, Ashley Nurse.
That's a good shot for 4. The boundary. Too little, too late.
Yeah, nicely timed, isn't it? You just have a bit of fun here. Jerome Taylor, that's all he's looking to do. Show some of the batsmen that it's not quite as hard as it looks.
Test 100 against New Zealand. Back in 08, Ian Smith would have been there calling it.
And picking up on your point, Ian Bishop, and we've mentioned Marlon Samuels of late, twice a brilliant innings in World Cups finals for Marlon Samuels. Pick up 1 to finish the over off. 117 for 8. Karen Pollard.
Blue Moon is brewed with Valencia orange peel for a taste that shines brighter.
Just a reminder of yours as well, for various reasons those players aren't here. Some have made themselves unavailable, whether temporarily or for a longer period, but it's just thinking about what ifs. So much talent in the field as well. You talk about the ball or the bat, but fielding wise with so much significance.
Well, a couple of the best around. I mean, we saw the movement of Carlos Brathwaite today. Karen Pollard, to me, is one of the best big men around the field as well. Terrific hands.
Up and over the top of Phillips, down to the boundary for 4.
Back into the attack, Tim Southey, captaincy today. I guess he's going to captain a winning side, leave this series intact as far as comprehensive wins over the West Indies is concerned. We've felt some nerves, I'm sure.
Tell you, something else has been thrown up today from me anyway, is that Glenn Phillips must be a real 50-over candidate as well. Anyone that can wicket keep like this, standing up and standing back, and hit with the devastating power that he's shown today, Glenn Phillips, has to be a real 50-over candidate, almost a must. Oh, that's lovely as well. And that will just fall short, just one bounce short.
couple of nice blows being struck, and if you're a fielding unit, you want to be able to stay on top of your death bowling skills, even though you're well out front in this contest. A couple of other contests to come later in this series, so you want to get your death bowling right. You can't bowl outside off stump with a mid-off.
Amaru Kitchen's got a good arm.
Should I say, even with the slow ball, you shouldn't be pitching it up outside the off stump with a man up in that circle. Pushes him back now, down to long off. Fine leg comes up.
Second time in the over, up and over. Not very often you have fielders down there, so it's a good result for a bit of bravery.
Taking it on, getting away with it, downwind. It's flown a long way again. One bounce. Southey assisting with the short ball.
Up again, someone should catch this. Anyone want it? Yes! Tom Bruce does.
Yeah, you can only get away with it for so long. Another little leg cutter that actually held in the pitch and leg cut a bit. It's been a very disappointing day's batting for the West Indies, disappointing back into their bowling effort as well, but credit to New Zealand as well. They must take a lot of credit for this. Taylor goes for 20, 131 for 9.
To the families and friends of the victims, know that we'll do everything we can. We are Vegas strong.
No matter what we're going through, we still have to push forward.
Are you ready to shake up the world?
It takes an act of love to realize we are all in this together.
Made history tonight.
Look at that!
It's emotional. I can't explain why, but it is.
I'm asking that you guys join and mobilize with me.
I will say it right now out loud. Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Love you, right? Hey, back out, bro. You gonna shake it, bro. The things that make us different, those are our superpowers. Go out there and conquer the world. Because the world would not be as beautiful as it is if we weren't in it.
Yeah. Down, Manu. Man, let's go. Peace.
Just looking for a wide mid-on, really. Ball was never quite there to hit, no pace on it. And all he could do was hit it up. It was a real baseball shot, wasn't it, with a wind-up with the left leg. Didn't get outside the infield. Oh, that one did. That was really hit hard. New Zealand exemplary in the park today.
Great work, Mitch Santner. Quick, good hands, a great throw to finish it off.
Great energy down towards the end with the game already having drifted in New Zealand's favour, but showing that commitment, just keeping the standards high.
Yes, I go back to the point of the match, the 19th over when New Zealand were batting. At the end of that, the West Indies, I'm sure, were thinking this is good, really good. And in the space of 2 or 3 pieces of indiscipline from Keswick Williams, the game changed course. The body language of the West Indies went down. The over lasted forever. It cost them the world, really. Not very often you say that 1 over was the difference in a whole day of cricket, but that has to be it for me. Just so poor at exactly the wrong time.
I talk about momentum all the time. Who's taking it into the changing room at half-time? And West Indies certainly would have with an over that had gone for 8, 9, 10, 11 even. But 28.
Great shot. Good cricketer, Nurse. Very good cricketer.
Apologies, 25 off the Keswick Williams over. Pretty good, Seth Rance today. Take the new ball, then bowl at the death as well. I know when a side is 9 down, you don't expect to travel too far at the death, but fronting up against Chadwick Walton, Chris Gale at the top of the order. Good job.
Oh, spot on. Really accurate. Good enough too. Good enough for Rance to get 3. Although they're going to have a look at it, it looked very, very good.
Inside edge?
Well, that's the only saving grace here.
Third umpire to Gavin. We have a review here for an LBW. Front foot first, please. Original decision was out. It's a fair delivery. Move to front on spin vision when you can, please. Just rock and roll that for me, please. Doesn't appear to be any bat involved. Can I get an RTS, please? Just rock and roll that for me, please. Ball appears to have missed the bat. Spike as it hits the ground, as it has gone past the bat. Satisfied there is no bat involved. Go to ball tracker when ready, please. Okay. Impacted line. Wickets hitting. I repeat, wickets hitting. If we can get the umpire back on screen, please. Chris, wickets hitting. On screen now. Stick with your original decision.
And that is that, as they say. The West Indies have been humbled again on this tour. Margin 47 runs this time around, and in T20 cricket that is a very big margin. Conclusive performance. New Zealand making 2 players black. cap T20 players for the first time today, Seth Rance, Andrew Kitchen, and they've both come through. Rance in particular was very effective, 3 wickets for him. Brilliant day out for Phillips. Munro was blasting at the top of the order. Just a good day for New Zealand. And in the park too, they've been absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, gets his man. Picks up 3 at the end. Seth Rance, 3 for Southey, 2 for Doug Bracewell, 1 apiece for Mitch Santner and Ish Sodhi. Threatening the West Indies for a big part of the first innings, for a small part of the batting innings, but New Zealand, as they have done throughout the series so far, in control in the end.
187 for 7, 2 good for 140. New Zealand again go up early in the series, 1-0 as we head to Mount Maunganui. We'll be back in a moment with the post-match presentation.
Blue Moon is brewed with Valencia orange peel for a taste that shines brighter.
With the Mini Epic Experience Pass, you get more out there, more in here, more moments to discover, more of what matters. Get an Epic Experience Pass plus up to $1,500 cash off select 2018 Mini Countryman.
They say you don't choose the app chooses you. It can stream the games and shows that I love, and it's there whenever I need it.
The wild card. You gotta have ice water in your veins. Be ready for anything. You think this doesn't matter? That's when the crazy stuff happens. I'm still ticked off about this 20 years later. The game plan, embrace the chaos. The team that survives might ride that momentum all the way to a ring. That's what it's all about. The lesson? Never ignore the wild card.
Saxton Oval is emptying as quickly as it filled up early this afternoon for a full house. It was an outstanding display from New Zealand, and in particular from the ANZ player of the match this time round. He's with Craig Cumming.
Yeah, Glenn Phillips, ANZ player of the match. Congratulations. I'll hand you over the bottle of the champagne. But, you know, an excellent day with bat and also with gloves. But tell us about the batting. It didn't look that easy early on.
Yeah, it was a little bit tough early on. The pitch was a bit slower than we expected it to be. And credit to the West Indies, they bowled well in that front 6. But me and Munro probably tried to go a little bit too hard too soon, not really assessing the pitch as well as we did. But it was good that we didn't lose any wickets and managed to set a stable base for the rest of the innings.
Was that just the case because you were playing naturally, that you like to go harder, then you actually had to talk about it and change the way you play?
It took us about 4 or 5 overs to figure out that we needed to hit it, underhit it a bit more. Being an aggressive player, both me and Munro, it was a little bit out of our nature to hold back, but we got through it, so it worked well.
Yeah, you're not used to probably having a strike rate below 100. What are you thinking about? Is there internal pressure? Do you start to feel the pressure that's building up on you?
When you get to 12 balls and being only on 6 runs, that gets a little bit tough. So it was working through those things, going 1 ball at a time. Munners was really good there, just telling me to hang in there, go for the next ball, just work hard. And then came out of that on top, which was nice.
And then with the gloves, obviously got to a great start. You picked up 3 catches and a stumping. Tell us about that catch of Chris Gale.
Honestly, I didn't really know where it had gone. I saw I'm not actually sure who it was at fine leg, but when he came around, I was hoping he wasn't going to crash into me at the same time, and just stuck up the mitts, and it's just stuck today. So it was one of those days where it happened to go right and look pretty good in the process.
The feature was your work with the gloves, but also the team fielded very well as well.
Yeah, the team did really well. A couple of good efforts on the boundary. Unfortunately, Doug with that one that went for 6, but it was a great piece of work out there, Satin on the boundary, and then a couple of good catches as well. So it was a pretty complete performance out in the field, which is nice.
How do you review it? How do you sit down now and sit back and look at your own performance?
I think you still got to go and critique yourself relatively hardly. My single finding could have been a lot better in the front 6, and then just in terms of the team aspect, there's always little nitpicking things that we like to go around. It's always best to internalise once you've won a game when you're in a good frame of mind.
You often open the batting, but how different is it batting 3 as well?
Batting 3 is basically the same as opening. You're coming in with a new ball, unless our openers get off to an absolute flyer and you're coming in after the 6 overs. It's relatively the same, so just going about the same sort of process as I do when I am opening.
Congratulations, and we'll see you in Mount Maunganui.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, mate. Brilliant. Well done.
Yes, very good. Glenn Phillips today with his half-century. Struggled at the start, as you heard from the man himself and from Craig Cumming. And then so impressive. Gloves, nice soft hands, a couple of good catches, one terrific running catch. Stumpings, that there, brilliant. Eyes on the ball. Pounched the big man, Chris Gale. And it was a terrific performance from Glenn Phillips today. Back sideline, Craig Cumming with the 2 skippers for a bit of post-match analysis.
Yeah, joined by Carlos Braithwaite. And Carlos, a disappointing performance, but for a long time, especially with the ball, you were in that match.
Yeah, we were. I think they got good momentum going into the last over. And into our batting innings as well. To be fair, we never ever really got away. We never got that big over to really set us away. And credit to them. Sometimes you have to give credit to your opposition. I think the ball is very disciplined and they fielded very well. A lot of times you get 1 or 2 that go through the fielders and they get away, and then that's your big over, 10, 11 or 12, and then you get a bit of momentum. They were excellent in the field. They stopped us from getting that big over when we played good shots, and then it always put us behind the 8 ball. So congratulations to them.
You won the toss and elected to bowl first. Were you happy with that decision?
Yeah, definitely. I still think it's a strong suit, and I think for the first 19 overs we executed as we did. It happens. Kedrick has been the best bowler in the world for this calendar year, and he just went away. So no extra pressure from me or the management on him. It happens. Bad day at the office, and it wasn't even really a bad day, just a bad over. But I thought that gave them some momentum going into our innings, and then as I said, we never really got that big over where we got away. So congratulations to them. But I still think we have a lot to be proud of. I think we bowled very, very well. We could have probably upped it in the field just a bit more, but I don't think the field display was abysmal. So it's on to the mount.
Tell us, that last over, you said it halts momentum. The difference between chasing something in the 170s as opposed to 190s, does that alter the mindset to the batsman when they walk out?
In a sense, yes, it does, because obviously 20 runs in the T20 game is a runner over throughout the whole innings, and that's massive. So anytime you're talking about 10 runs, probably sometimes even 5 runs can change a game. So yeah, the execution just wasn't there, and as a result, we had to chase 190. We got kind of halfway, we kind of really wanted to be with a few wickets in hand and setting it up nicely for the back end. Unfortunately, as I said, we never really got going. We always that one big over away, and then we come up some 20, 30 runs short or so. So imagine a 10 run over, let me say the 10 for 11 to give us some momentum to power into the back end, and the game will be a lot closer and we end with a shout.
Tell us, as you head to Mount Maunganui for the second one, how do you improve in certain areas? What do you do as a skipper to try and lead the side? Because it's been a tough tour for the Windies. No one's ever doubted the ability or how hard they're trying. But how do you improve the skill set?
If you try to improve the skill set in 2 or 3 days, is it possible? Our message from me is always a clear mind and execution. Regardless of your skill set, once you execute what you want to do and what you need to do for the team, then I'm sure you'll come up trumps more often than not. We've had a good run thus far for the calendar year, and it's just a matter of starting 2018 on the right foot.
A couple of great catches for yourself as well.
Yeah, thanks. A couple of them stuck. Unfortunately, didn't get Monroe early. Hopefully that would have changed it. But yeah, you have good days, you have bad days, and as a group, we've been having some good days on tour. Unfortunately, we haven't had as much as we'd like, and today was another one of those days where we know that we can do better than we actually did. So hopefully we go to the mount, put in a perfect performance, and square the series.
Appreciate your time. We look forward to seeing you in Mount Maunganui. Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go, Carlos Braithwaite, the West Indian captain. I'm going to invite in now Tim Southey, who took the armband for the first time. Tim, 1 from 1. Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a pretty good effort. I think struggled early on with the bat, but the guys hung in there, and then we were able to finish very strongly. And then the way we sort of fielded and bowled was exceptional.
Yeah, it was tough at the start, and what impressed us was probably the maturity between Colin Munro and also when you're looking at Phillips, something you probably don't expect for them. So that must have been pleasing for you watching.
Yeah, it was. Obviously, it was tough, and they hung in there, and we didn't lose wickets here when it was tough, and we were able to accelerate throughout the innings. And guys chipped in all the way down, and obviously that last over was crucial to grab some momentum and take it into our bowling effort.
You were out there in the middle. Was it surprising? I mean, no balls happened in the game, but for you, when you walked off, you must have felt a lot better with the total, because at one stage it looked on par, but that took it above par. Yeah,
it was sort of hanging in the balance there. They bowled well throughout, and we sort of scrapped our way to a reasonable total, and then and be able to put the icing on the top. That last over was, as I said, grabbed a little bit of momentum and going into our bowling innings.
Great start by Seth Rance as well, picking up Chris Gale. Did you change your plans at all at half-time, having seen the way the Windies bowled?
That's the beauty of bowling second. You get 20 overs to see what works for them, and we saw that it was a slowish wicket, so I thought if we banged it into the wicket, it was tough to time, and if we could get the run rate going up, then we could put pressure on, and hopefully that got us wickets throughout. And nice to get Chris Gale too early, but how important is it for your young players, someone like Seth Rance and then Phillips, to take that catch just to improve the confidence and give them plenty of energy? Yeah, it was brilliant. I think the way that they both started, obviously Glenn only played a couple of games, and to put in a performance like that was outstanding. And Seth to come in and pick up those 2 crucial wickets to get the ball rolling was outstanding as well. And the guy, I think everyone in the field, the energy, the movement off the ball was outstanding. I know it's not you all about being captain in this game, but how did you find trying to bowl, execute your skills, but the mind's also thinking of the team? So I enjoyed it. It's obviously busy, T20. Actually, quite good. It takes your mind off your own, what you're trying to achieve yourself, and think about other things. So it was very enjoyable. Obviously, a pretty clinical performance, which helped and made things a lot easier. Yeah, excellent performance. Congratulations, and we'll see you in Mount Maunganui. Cheers. Thanks, Craig. Thanks, mate.
This was fantastic from Phillips. What a catch. Really did set the tone, that first one. Got the great man, but it said to the Black Caps, that is what we've got to do for the remainder of this innings, and they followed suit. Very, very good catch. Very next ball from Anaru Kitchen. Good shot here from Shea Hope, who looked to get going. A little sweep shot there. West Indies were starting to rebuild until Fletcher ran past one, and lightning work from Phillips behind. Terrific and genuine leg spinning delivery there from Sodhi. Taylor gets one square of the wicket. Muhammad goes straight away. Shea Hope hits one straight to Colin Munro. This is where the West Indies were just picking out players, and they hardly had to move. Braithwaite came out, and he did lead from the front for most of the day, but he had to leap them too far, and in the end he hit one, dead straight to Tom Bruce. He never moved. Unbelievable. Powell came and went very quickly. Another good catch from Phillips. Loader was right. Topped off his fine performance. Another catch here. Just outstanding. No good for Kesrick Williams. His day was not that good. Little flurry at the end. You quite often get that in white ball games. Brave effort from Bracewell, ended up being 6. Jerome Taylor swung mightily for 20 runs off 10 balls, and then Tom Bruce got under another one. LBW, last man, Samuel Badgley. Going on to hit leg stump. Good enough for Chris Brown, the umpire, and good enough for the technology as well. All that remained was the shaking of the hands and confirmation that the West Indies were mowed over in the end for 140, and an outstanding day all in all for New Zealand with bat and ball. No poor performances with the ball at all. They were consistent, and wickets 3 for Rance, 3 for Southey, 2 for Bracewell, 1 apiece for Santner and Sodhi, just a 1 over from Kitchen. But it was just a really good performance, dominating performance. We've seen it in the white clothing, we've seen it in the 50 overs, and now we've seen it in the first of the T20 internationals. So what happens next? We head to Mount Maunganui for the first game of the new year. It's at 7 o'clock at night on the 1st of January, and that will be at the Bay Oval, and that's under the lights. Spectacular ground it is these days. They develop it more and more. It's a double header there, but the first one is crucial for the West Indies. Can 2018 start better than 2017 has ended for them? From your Sky Sport crew here in Nelson, safe travels, Happy New Year, we'll see you in the mounts.
Summer of Cricket, the GJ Gardner Holmes International Series versus West Indies was brought to you by ANZ, major sponsor of the Black Caps.
The Season of Adventure sales event is happening now. Land Rover, above and beyond.
The moment that I met you, I thought you were fine, so fine.
Blue Moon is brewed with Valencia orange peel for a taste that shines brighter.
I love sports. I just wish they could be with me always. They say you don't choose the app chooses you. It is everything I could ever want in a sports companion.
That's okay. This is why we practice.
I can stream the games and shows that I love. And it's there wherever and whenever I need it. I never thought I could find an app that loves sports as much as I do.
Mississippi Mass Choir.
Until now.
Never ignore the wild card.
And we'll grow in number. chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust.